Have you ever looked at another designer's portfolio and thought to yourself, man, how did they do that? Well, I found 5 of those portfolios that'll make you feel embarrassed of your own. No offense, but I'll break down exactly why they look so good, the design choices behind each one, and the small details you might have missed so you can apply them to your own portfolio right away. The last one literally does something I've never seen before. So take notes because you don't want to miss anything. Okay, first up we have Bohdan's portfolio. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. The second this page loads, it's immediately memorable, it's different, and it's unconventional. I love the 3D character here, and there's so many visual details that make this portfolio land. Like the fact that the 3D character is responding to my cursor. I also love the overlapping, parallaxing scroll effects. And something else he's doing really well here is the use of these orange callouts. I love how he's using them as little value props. This one says, built to perform. I create data-driven designs that deliver measurable results and meaningful connections. These callouts sort of give recruiters and hiring managers a sense of what he values as a designer right at the top of the page. Then you scroll and there's this really nice transition into the selected work section. I love how the background just fades to black, which makes the work in this section pop on the page just a little bit more. He's also giving a quick preview of the impact on each project before you even click into it. So recruiters and hiring managers get to see the measurable impact of each project before they even open the case study. And speaking of a case study, if we click into one of these here, we get this really nice transition, and I love how the text just animates into the page so smoothly. I also like the use of white space here and the editorial layouts. It just makes the whole page feel fresh and modern. If I had to push back on one thing, just one thing, I wish he showed his work higher up on the page, like closer to the hero, because recruiters scroll less than you think, but that's a small note on what's otherwise an amazing portfolio. Bohdan's site is visually stunning, and fun fact, he actually built this portfolio in Framer, which is exactly the platform I built Lo-Fi on. If you're watching this video and you're fired up to go redesign your portfolio, but you don't want to start from a blank canvas, my Framer template Lo-Fi might save you a few weeks. It's designed to help you stand out and get hired in this competitive job market. Simply drop in your work, customize it, and hit publish. Links in the description below. Next one is from David. This portfolio is the complete opposite of Bohdan's. It's so fun and creative and has so much personality. I love the parallax effect again that we have in the hero. Speaking of the hero, I think we get to learn so much about David just in this one section alone. Just notice how it looks like we have a Johnny Bravo sticker, maybe he's in a Johnny Bravo, maybe cameras, as well as a Spider-Man fan. And as we scroll, we get to see more of that scrapbook concept, because that's the move that sort of ties this whole portfolio together, and everything fits naturally into that theme. We get to the project section and we have this custom cursor that looks like it could have been cut out and taped on the screen. We also have like this paper clip that sort of looks like it's pinning this project to the page. Even as we're scrolling through the portfolio here, we can see even more moments using that theme. Instead of seeing a traditional button here, we're seeing what looks like to be like a highlighter mark across the page just to highlight a specific action. And we're going to continue to scroll here. I love the use of this type of font that looks like it was written instead of one that was printed onto the page. Again, just using a combination of things to really lean into that scrapbook feel. Even the mix of different fonts within certain headlines really lean into that as well. But as we scroll through here, we see more ways of how he's leveraging that concept to build out the rest of the sections here. Just so creative and fun. And by the time you reach the end of this portfolio, we see a closed scrapbook again, which is really nice. And if we scroll back up to the case studies here, we can see that he also carried over a lot of that same feeling to these pages. So the hero image of each case study looks like it was cut out and glued to the page. That's the part that most personality portfolios miss. You add personality to the homepage and then forget about the case studies. The rest of the site sort of feels off-brand and generic, but David stays consistent on this portfolio the whole way through, top to bottom, page after page. This is a great example of visual execution and personality sort of working together hand in hand. It just feels uniquely his. Next up, we have YanXin's portfolio. Apologies in advance if I'm butchering the pronunciation here. This portfolio starts strong from the very top. He leads with the work right in the hero section, and you can also drag these images around, which is pretty fun. And as we scroll down here, we get to see a little bit more about YanXin and who he is. And then we get to his video showreel on the homepage. And honestly, this is just so good. As we scroll down beneath that, we have some featured work that is shown here, and we're going to come back to this in just a second. Then we get to the services section and then down to the client section. And this is the one I wanted to take a beat on because this actually stood out to me. Just look at this interaction. Scrolling through the client projects here, most portfolios would just give you a simple grid of logos and call it done. But YanXin took the time to build this pretty cool spiraling, scrolling interaction to highlight featured clients. And if you really think about it, this is one of the last sections at the bottom of the page. He could have easily just gone with that simple logo grid like everyone else, but he took it a step further and designed this really beautiful interaction. That type of care and attention to detail are what help you get noticed and stand out as a designer. As I scroll back up here to the work section, I also wanted to call out something that he's doing really well on the case studies because this also stood out to me. When we land on the case study page, he's using this simple layout that really spotlights the work. There's a quick overview of the project on the right, and beneath that, I can just start scrolling and immediately get immersed in his beautiful work that he's displaying here. It's just all so nice, and it's like it's never ending. And when I get to the end of a showcase, there's a section here called See the Thinking behind it with the button that says Read the Case Study. And that's actually a really smart move because recruiters in the initial screening stage are scanning for the work. So he made the showcase the default view, and the full case study is just one click away if anyone wants to see or dive deeper into the project here. And another thing that's nice is when you hover over this button, the text changes to yes, there's more. And there's just so much personality baked into that one tiny interaction. And this is how designers should be handling case studies on their portfolios going forward. But as you scroll around here, you sort of think you've seen everything that this portfolio has to offer, but there's a whole different side of this portfolio that most people will miss. And on the bottom right corner, if you click Lab here, it brings you to an entire different experience that transforms the portfolio into this Mac OS desktop, like a fully interactive desktop. And then he has this custom dock down here at the bottom. If I click the Finder icon, I can see a chaos folder that pops up with folders that are labeled final, final, final. Like these are just things that designers feel at their soul. And if you try to open one of these, you see a little message that says, this item cannot be opened. No backup was found. I'll back up my files. And it's so nice and shows a lot of personality here. If we move on to the trash icon, we can open this and see that there are tons of files in here called logo from client. We got unpaid invoices, layer 1, copy 99. This is the kind of thing that you wouldn't naturally put on your main portfolio site because it's a risk and it doesn't really sell the work. But that's exactly what makes this land. He built an entire second experience inside his portfolio just to show more of his personality. And that's the kind of detail that gets remembered and gets shared. And for what it's worth, he also built this portfolio in Framer. This fourth portfolio is from Jackie. It's very modern and unique from the second that this page loads. Everything about it is just unconventional. And right at the top, we immediately see what she does. And as we scroll down, we see some of the 3 things that she believes in as a product designer. Then we get a snapshot of the products and experiences that she's worked on. And it's also pretty nice that as we scroll, it's sort of rotating through the things that she believes in. And the other thing I like about this portfolio is that Jackie's site is just so full of these moments of surprise and delight that are baked throughout this portfolio. Like at the end of this featured work section, there's a photo peeking out from the bottom of the section, and you can just grab it, and it looks like it's going to be a picture of her, but there's a doodle on top of it, and it's just really fun and delightful to play with. And then it gets even better when we get to the footer, because you can start filling in the check boxes here in the footer, and then there's an image that starts to take shape on the right. And after you've selected all 3 checkboxes, a GIF pops up at the bottom. And again, it's completely unexpected, but you can tell she put real thought into each little micro interaction here. Nothing feels accidental. Everything feels thoughtful. And that's what makes Jackie's portfolio land. She's essentially using surprise and delight as a core design element throughout this portfolio. This last portfolio is from Pacôme, and forgive me if I didn't quite get the name right. This one is one of my favorite portfolios on the list. I'm gonna go ahead and enter with sound here. I just love how this designer is using sound as a core element throughout this entire portfolio. It's clearly evident that he's a sound designer. The medium is the message. The music as you land on the homepage of this portfolio is just so relaxing. Even hovering on these cards are so satisfying. And there's that spiral interaction again. It's such a unique way of displaying the work. It's also fun to interact with as you scroll, because it looks like there's a little bit of velocity based scrolling here as well. And there's even a fun sound effect that happens when you switch from the spiral view to the list view. So just listen to that. It's just so nice. The interactions here just feel so thoughtful. You can also hover over this smiley face here and click it, and there's some fun things that happen. There's a little sound effect, and even the expression on the avatar changes. It's a tiny detail, but it tells you everything about how this designer approaches designs. And even if we were to click into one of the project pages here, he's using a simple project page where, again, he leads with the high-level showcase of the work with the option to read a more detailed case study if you want. Again, this is a similar pattern that we've seen on YanXin's portfolio. And at the end of a case study, you can just keep scrolling and the next project loads with this satisfying sound effect. It's like a never-ending view of his beautiful work, which is so nice and makes navigating between projects so effortless. The other thing I like about this portfolio is that even if the sound is off, it's still crazy good. It's just that the micro interactions and the attention to detail are what really make this portfolio feel polished and human. So what makes these 5 portfolios make every other portfolio feel forgettable? It's not the big ideas. It's not the platform they're built on. It's the small intentional choices stacked on top of each other. Bohdan's orange value prop callouts, David's favorite color taped to the screen, the tiny details that were made on purpose. And here's the thing, you already have eyes for this. You see it all the time on Mobbin and sites like Savvy. The hardest part isn't seeing what works, it's applying it to your own portfolio. And if you want to go deeper on the details that make a difference, check out this video where I break down the secret science to make your portfolio look pro.